You're welcome.
Well, Don Imus' show is off the air for 2 weeks. It's effective Monday. That is the punishment for his racist comments about the Rutgers women's basketball team. Clarence Page of the Chicago Tribune says he has heard it all before, including all those sorries. He joins us this morning. Nice to see you, Clarence, as always.
You too, Soledad.
Thank you very much. I know that you've talked with Don Imus about his racist comments in the past, and he had said, I take the pledge. I'm not going to do it again. So when you heard this, what was your first reaction?
Well, you mean this latest episode?
Yeah.
My first reaction was, well, I guess he's fallen off the wagon again, particularly egregiously this time. The term he used, nappy-headed hose, to refer to the Rutgers women's basketball team is just beyond the pale, and that's why we're seeing the kind of negative reaction we've seen the last few days, a bigger negative backlash than he's ever had before.
Yeah, you know what has really surprised me about that was it was like, where did that come from? Nappy-headed hose for these young women who are, basketball phenoms, really? It almost was like synonymous with young black women, the way he kind of threw it out there. That is really what has enraged people. So you think a 2-week suspension is enough or not enough?
Well, I think, first of all, that phrase comes from hip-hop, and I've heard from readers who are saying, well, why doesn't Al Sharpton go out and condemn hip-hoppers? I tell you, with a 17-year-old son at home, Soledad, I've heard a lot of hip-hop in recent years, and radio stations have been bleeping out hose and nappy-headed, those kind of phrases. But as far as 2 weeks being enough, I personally think that's enough. That's more than he's ever gotten before, and he's been called on the carpet by a lot of his public on numerous occasions. So I think this gives a sound warning because it hits him in the pocketbook, although I'm sure it's going to just help his ratings.
Yeah, I would imagine too. There is a sense, I think, that it's a bigger outcry because he's got this legitimacy that comedy shows, even though he keeps saying, we're here really to do entertainment, even though I didn't think that phrase was very funny in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
Prominent politicians, prominent journalists, very prominent politicians go on his show. What do you think happens
Good friends
now?
of mine, that's right.
Yeah, okay, good friends of yours. So what happens now? Who's the first politician who goes on Imus' show? Does it matter? Do you think anybody cares?
Well, I'm already being asked to question candidates for president, to ask them if they're going to go on Imus' show again. I understand Cal Ripken, not a politician, but a wonderful icon of sports and all, has canceled his scheduled appearance. I know my friends around town here, various journalistic pundits and newsmakers, are giving second thoughts. A number are still going to go on his show anyway, and that does add to his credibility. It also helps our careers as far as expanding our audiences, but I've decided not to play the game anymore. I've been an enabler of Don's, and it's very easy to do for me to drop out since he has not invited me back since I pushed him into taking that pledge back in 2001.
Yeah, he never invited me on at all, so I guess I could go with you and say, I'm not going on that show.
Makes it easier for us, doesn't it?
He has said now that maybe there should be black people on his show every day. When he was talking on the Today Show this morning, he said, we'll make an effort to do that, have a black person on the show each and every day. What do you think of that idea?
Well, I think, frankly, it was very clever of him to go to Al Sharpton rather than to go to some of the rest of us, 30 million black folks in America, because if there's anybody really hated by Don Imus's core audience, which is mostly white male, it's Al Sharpton. So if there was any way to make himself look sympathetic, I think he did that yesterday by going to that broadcast confessional. So I'm sure, Don's always had black folks on here and there in the past. He was a big supporter of Harold Ford in his Senate race. I don't think Don is a racist, but he says racist things. So there's that little nuance of difference that's troubling.
I was going to say, Mr. Page, that is a little nuance of difference there. Clarence Page, we don't have time to get into that this morning, but always nice to see you. Thanks for talking with us.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Miles?